I'm back. Alright. Bridge to the turnabout. Final thing. Final case. Chichishito, the treasured Korean village heirloom, whose name means seven-branched sword. She's holding it upside down from when we last saw it. It's also chipped. It said that the sacred sword represents life itself. Though the branches may appear to be infinite, the choice is limitless. Like our destinies, the sword comes to but one end, one merciless point. And when the silver cord, the fragile thread that binds us to this world, is severed, the illusion is revealed, and the impossibility of fate is... I didn't get to read the end of that. I was too busy trying to pronounce that word. February 6th, Wright & Co. Hey Nick. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, what's it to you? You know how I've got spiritual powers unlike you? Okay, thanks. Rub it in. You are a spirit medium after all. Just like you, if I don't keep my powers sharp, they get dull, right? I guess? Yeah. Glad you agree. Okay, Pearly, you're up. So, that's why we need to go on a special spiritual hotspot tour, Mr. Nick. Huh? Why is Dahlia on that magazine? What's this magazine you're showing? It's the New Year's issue of Occult, Winter Spiritual Location Special. Rose looks so happy. Maximize your spiritual powers with just one night of intense training. One night of intense training. It sounds too good to be true. I'll say, it sounds more like a scam to me. It's the Willy Wonka experience. Or Wonka's chocolate experience or whatever. It's at a spiritual retreat called the Hazakura Temple. It's way up in the mountains. I bet it's nice and cold, just perfect for training. You know, I think I've heard of this temple before. It's a famous channeling dojo. It's hard for even real spirit mediums like us to make a reservation up there. Reservations for a temple? Are you serious? Don't worry, I've already made special reservations just for us. I signed up for the special course. That's nice. The timing couldn't be better, since we don't have a case right now anyway. It's settled. Come on, don't just stand there, start packing your stuff. Better start packing. Huh? Me? Why do I have to go? We have to be accompanied by someone who's over 20. I don't have anything to do with spirit power. The only thing I can channel is a TV. Is there a heated pool at this Hazakura temple? No, but you can stand under a freezing waterfall. What is it with these two and freezing waterfalls? Sorry, but I think I'll pass. I hate cold places. How can you be so selfish? Come on, Mr. Nick, look at this place. Doesn't it look beautiful? Not gonna be I'm gonna be nice and toasty at home. What the? What is it? Let me see that magazine. It's Dahlia. I told you. Be a friend of yours or something, Nick? This girl, it's Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. Peh. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? You disgust me. But it can't be. He was found guilty and should still be in prison. I'll go. Hazakura Temple, I said I'll go. Isn't that great, Pearly? Oh, thank you, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, right? Even walk over burning coals, right? Well, looks like he's doing this more for Dahlia than for Maya. Dahlia Hawthorne. Knew there was no way she could possibly be at that temple, but I just had to see for myself who this nun really was. So cold here, Nick. Maybe you should put on something warmer for a change. Well, it's supposed to be cold. Achoo! Teeth are chattering so loudly, it's all I can do to make out what she's saying. Wow, Mystic Maya, so this is the famous Hazakura Temple. Girls, achoo, well. Oh. How nice to see you here. Welcome to our temple. Thank you. Achoo. Oh my, thank you for coming all this way. Come on. Come now, you must be cold. We are high up in the mountains after all. In any case, we shouldn't speak here. Follow me inside. Thank you, I thought I was going to pass. Oh, yes, I almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm the head nun at the temple. My name is Bikini. Bikini? That's right. Actually, that's my temple name. What do you think? Is that supposed to be like a stripper name? In addition to have one, it's a tradition to have one. I wanted something that has a nice image to it. So I thought, why not choose a bikini? Besides, it makes me seem younger. Ha ha ha, ho ho ho. Certainly does. Oh, I signed up for your special course. My. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel. Wahaha, ho ho ho. Reckless? Wahaha. Maybe you should take it easy tonight, Maya. We can come back another day. But we went through all that. It keeps skipping over what Maya says. That's right, you've come all this way, so please enjoy yourselves. Still some time before supper, so why don't you have a look around? So what's a channeling dojo? Give him sister. Just call me Bikini and forget that sister part. Channeling dojo is basically spiritual power training ground. Special holy items prepared here to help people boost their spiritual power. You train an entire evening surrounded by those items. It's quite mysterious. The spiritual power of those items seem to envelop you. She must have gotten off the trolley from the land of make-believe. Oh my god, Phoenix, you can't say that. You must be incredibly devoted to be interested in that at such a young age. It's a training session where you sit on a block of spirit ice and chant a spell 30,000 times, all while being showered in freezing cold spirit water. Eh? It's February now, right? You have to be careful this time of year. If you don't watch it, you'll catch pneumonia or even die of hypothermia. So be careful, you hear? Wahaha, ho ho ho, ha! How am I supposed to be careful? Oh no, I knew I shouldn't have signed Mystic Maya up for this. Sister, about this picture. Oh well, look at that. I must say I look rather divine here, don't you think? Oh, yeah, unforgettable in every way. You mean it? Oh, I knew it. Wahaha. Ho 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 ho. Makeup was pretty tough, but Iris helped me out. Iris? Cute little girl in the photo. She looks just like me, doesn't she? Just a small temple here, so she and I run the entire place. It kind of sounds like... Sorry to cut in, but... This Iris... Where is she right now? Just listen to you. You haven't come all the way up here just to find a girlfriend, have you? Well... No, that's not what I had in mind at all. Anyway, Iris is in the inner temple preparing for this evening. Inner temple. Yes, yes, that's right. Iris will be back this evening. Why don't you have a look at the main hall? Waha. Wahahaha. Is she Wario? Main hall suspension bridge. One of those snow motorcycle things. Most people call that a snowmobile thing, you know? Snow motorcycle things, snow blow meal. Same thing. Bad we didn't invite Desiree. Bet she could race like the wind on the snowmobile. Maybe she'd give me a ride on this blow snowmobile. Told you, it's snowmobile. Phoenix, stop being a stick in the mud. It's a cute little bell tower. I absolutely love the sound of a giant bell. What do you like better, that or the sound of money? Sorry, but I'll take the money for the win, Nick. What are you apologizing for? What do you think, Nick? Pretty awesome gate. It's a cool gate. Sure is. It looks pretty well maintained, too. This thing kind of puts your hometown to shame, Maya. Yeah, well, a lot of things happened in Korean Village. We used to be a lot richer back when people hired us to perform channelings. Oh, I see. But now the place looks a bit run down. Guess I was just born in the wrong time. It's like the main hall where we'll be staying. From here it looks like one of those ice hotels you always hear about. Gotta have a heater or something in there, don't you think? I don't want to die. I'm not worried. I brought my hot water bottle. Did you bring one for me? What are you talking about? Who carries around 2 hot water bottles? No clues about the weird door? Weird random door? What is the point of this door? Suspension bridge. Wow, look at this broken down old bridge. Yeah, and look at that big canyon below us. Hey, there's a river, and it looks like it's flowing real fast. Uh-huh. What's wrong, Nick? You look like you've seen a ghost. I'm just not very good with heights. Okay, I've got it. Maybe you should face your fear and try hurling yourself off the edge. You know, 1, 2, 3, jump. It might be just what you need to get over your fear of heights. Holy shit, Maya. Yeah, death is a real good way to overcome phobias. It looks like a rickety bridge. Can't argue that. It's probably why it's called Dusty Bridge. Read it again, Maya. It says Dusky. Practically the same thing. Some letters are engraved in a roughly cut boulder. Dusty Bridge, huh? It says Dusky. Take a look at this bridge and tell me it's not supposed to be dusty. The sign is obviously wrong, and I'm gonna fix it. Now give me a pencil. There's a phone here. Good to know. Took 20 minutes. It would have been smarter for them to build the main hall here, don't you think? Okay, good to know. 20 minutes. Why don't we hop across the bridge? It'll be fun. Looks like a bunny hopping across the bridge would destroy it. Let's try to find a cute, fluffy little bunny to test your theory. It looks like it's about 20 yards from that to that cliff over there. I guess that's where I'll be training tonight. Do you want to train with me, Nick? And do the special course? I think not. But it'd be so great if you had spiritual powers too. Really? I see dead people? Sounds more like a cause for alarm to me. There's a narrow path going off in a different direction than that of the main hall. The sign is so old the text seems to have vanished. The path leads to a wooden staircase that goes all the way down to the bottom of the canyon. Right, wooden staircase. Pass me a pencil. Graffiti is a crime. Okay. That's it. Okay, back to the main gate. Why give us the option to go to the suspension bridge right now? Hazakura Temple, main hall. Main hall, I think it's even colder in here. Achoo. Mr. Nick, do you smell that? It smells like meat and gravy. Guess it's pot roast for tonight. Yum. Weird. I thought they would serve something a little more, well, traditional. What are you talking about? You think monks and nuns sit around eating rice gruel all the time? Hope there's mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. What a cute little acolyte. Greetings to all of you. Oh, hello. This lady makes Maya look like a 6.8 out of 10 on the weirdness scale. Your outfit, did you come here for the special course too? Fortunately, no. Actually, I'm... Ah, you're Miss Elise Donham. Miss Elise Donham. Is there a joke in this name that I'm not getting? Elise Donham. Elise Donham. I don't know. That's right, you know of me? My name is Pearl Faye. I'm your biggest fan. Who is she, Nick? I see it now. Zvari, a fortune teller. Got all your books, Miss Donham. What a cute things to say, and please call me Elise. Books? Mr. Nick, don't you know anything? Don't you even know who this is? Well, an author? And an illustrator. Picture books. Picture books, huh? Oh, now I get it. Ah, she writes children's books. It's an altar. It looks a bit old, but someone does a good job taking care of it. Speaking of altars, I remember seeing one like this in Crane Village last year. Guess they really have something to do with spiritual power after all. As the mirror... Oh, it's a huge Magatama. It's very weathered, though. If I can see Psylocke with a tiny Magatama I've got, I can only imagine what kind of power this bad boy has under his hood. Stack of straw zabuton cushions. Maya told me this type of zabuton is an enza. Suppose if I'd come here, I'd have missed out on all these new things. There's straw zabuton cushions arranged around a hibachi brazier. I haven't seen a layout like this since I saw a really old Japanese movie on TV. If it wasn't for this hibachi, they'd probably freeze to death. I bet the writing on these sliding doors are instructions for spirit channeling, kind of like how we scribbled math formulas on the bathroom walls to remember them, except we couldn't go to the bathroom during tests, and I can't read these walls. Sorry, I don't know who you are. I don't get a lot of chance to really enjoy picture books. It's alright, I take no offense to them. My books are nothing but simple stories for children. And really beautiful pictures too, Miss Elise. Your books always make me feel as if my heart has been purified. Makes me happy to hear you say that. Certainly seems like a kind, sensitive lady. Please don't tell me she's gonna die. Or they're painting her as really nice. She's either going to be the victim or the killer. Miss Elise won an award last year for her book, The Magic Bottle. A friend of mine secretly submitted a story I had written to a publisher. They liked it so much they asked if it was alright to make it into a book. Must have been a really great story. Maybe I should try to write a children's book too. If I do, you can secretly send it to a publisher for me, Nick. Recently I've accepted a sort of apprentice, you might say. Calls himself Lawrence. Loris? He calls himself Loris. Loris Donham. I shouldn't look up her name, Elise. I want to know what the joke in her name is. I believe he's off doing some landscape sketches now. On Loris's behalf as well, I'd like to thank you for your support. Of course, Miss Lee, is anything for you. Why come here? Why'd you come to Hazakura Temple, Miss Elise? Are you here to do some spiritual training? No, that's not it. I'm actually here to gather materials for a new book I'm working on. Can't wait to read it. Wanted to do a book with more Japanese feel to it this time. Is that why you're dressed as you are? Children have a certain image of me in their minds. I don't want to disappoint them. Good people here were kind enough to let me borrow this. I'm wearing training clothes underneath my robe as well. You like the crystal sphere? It's real amethyst, you know? Maybe we'll find one up in the mountains. Good luck, Nick. I know you'll find me one. You'll have to excuse me. I have to go help with dinner preparations. You mean you're cooking dinner? That's right. Would you like to help too, Pearl? Yes, yes. I want to help with whatever I can. I'll help too, then. No, it's fine. Please don't worry about it. Feel free to relax and explore the area with your friend. But... oh, yes. Please take this. I think it will be of help to you. Help? Oh, it's a map. To map the area, we wouldn't want you to get lost now, would we? Let's go. At least we'll stay warm if we keep moving. Where'd Sister Bikini go? I guess she went to go to the inner temple to help out to help the other nun out. Her name is Iris? Yeah, that was it. I like how Godot's already a character profile in here. 48. And then Elise is, who knows. I'm gonna find out who Iris really is, but I'm scared of what I'll find. Bridge was shaking like jello in an earthquake. At least half the wood on that rickety bridge was rotting, I bet. Not to mention the last part only had like one board left on it. What's wrong with you? Your face is all green. Can you not pick on me for a second? I'm still trying to get over the shock that we made it safely over the death trap. Yikes, that temple is in bad shape. Looks like it could collapse at any time. I guess people don't use it too often. Is this really where you're gonna train tonight? That has to be it. It's kind of creepy around here, like a ghost might jump out at you or something. A spirit medium afraid of ghosts? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Isn't it ironic? Looks like this bridge is suspended by 4 of these wires. They're really thin. Shouldn't they just be a little thicker? Look at all these neat Buddha statues. Maybe I'll take one home with me. I know. But there's so many. They wouldn't notice if I just took one. Oh my god. Why is she a klepto? And a psychopath? What are you gonna do with one of those anyway? Put it in the office. We can trade that wooden statue in the office reception area for one of these. Where did that wooden statue come from anyways? There's a giant robot. No, that looks like a furnace. Or incinerator, that too. Gotta admit, it looks like a robot. Think this giant robo-incinerator can walk? It's just an incinerator. A fight between a lawyer and a overgrown incinerator. Who'd pay to see that? I feel like that's a joke about something. There's something written. I can't read it, but if I had to take a guess, I'd say it says Inner Temple. Half open gate. That's practically a welcome mat. Yeah, except for the sign here that says no entry. Rules are made to be broken. Inner temple up ahead, it looks kind of run down. Sounds like your stomach wants to show off its digestive powers. Wonder if the roast is ready. Sounds like my cue to leave. Tiny, freezing cold room. So this is where you'll both be training, huh? What do you mean both? I'm the only one. Really? But I thought Pearly as a kid, she couldn't handle this kind of intense training. So says the girl who I can barely hear over her teeth chattering. The real training room must be behind that door over there. Definitely getting the feeling it's back there. Even I can sense there's something supernatural about the cavern behind that door. Excuse me, but who are you? Here? Hi there. We're just looking around since we're going to be staying here tonight. Something wrong? No, it's nothing. I wonder why she spaced out like that, don't you, Nick? Did you say something, Maya? Not you too. You recognized him. My name is Iris, one of the nuns here at this temple. Maya Fey, it's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure is mine. Please excuse me, I have some chores to attend to. She sure is beautiful, and a little spacey, I guess. Guess she's not used to talking with urban sophisticates like us. Nick? That girl. It can't be, but... It's a splitting image of Dahlia Hawthorne, almost like they just drew her and then put her in a different outfit. What is it? Why'd you scream like that? This scroll. It's my mother. What? It's Mia? Or Misty? Misty Faye, Master of Crane, School of Channeling. You sure? Yep. The crest at the top of the scroll is a special mark of the Master in our tradition. What is it? Nothing. It's just, I saw that... I last saw her over 15 years ago. If it weren't for that crest, I wouldn't have even known it was her. My own mother, and I can't even recognize her face. Wonder if this temple has connection to the Fae family. I think it does. Supposedly it was founded by a branch family member of Crane. Ask Bikini about the Fae family. Training must be on the other side of the door. It's locked. Oh, this antique dresser. I wonder if there's anything valuable inside. Let's have a look. Oomph. Nothing. Just a bunch of clothes. Hey, Nick. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking. Thinking about Iris, I bet. Looks like you've been bitten by the love bug, Nick. More like he's seen a ghost. Bunch of musty-looking blankets and bedding sets piled up here. Wonder why they're here in the first place. It's because all spiritual training is done under the supervision of a nun. Wonder if Sister Bikini is planning to sleep in here while I train. Managed to make it. Are you feeling alright? What's wrong with you? Ever since we met Sister Iris, you've been really quiet. Sorry. Hey you, wait up. He's yelling at us? He must be. There's no one else around. Would you mind moving? You're standing right in my way. Larry? Sorry, you gotta run. See ya. Wait a minute. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Loris Dunham. Liar, you're Larry. Your clothes may change, but you're still the butts. Shut up. But I'm Loris. I'm here to do a sketch of Dusky Bridge. So it really is our Larry. Not that I get why he's pretending to be someone else. What are you doing with that last name Dunham? Well, I wanted to start over with a clean slate. Clean slate? Remember, don't you, last time? The mask-to-mask case. The shittiest case in this entire game. The most predictable case in the entire game. Started to realize I don't like this guy known as Larry Butts. That's when I came across it, the Book of Destiny. A Magic Bottle by Miss Elise Dunham. So beautiful, so moving, so gentle. My heart felt cleansed, I was saved. Okay. She's the most wonderful person I've ever met. I'd follow her anywhere. She certainly is a very elegant lady. You see, here's a photo I took of her in secret. Huh? Her hair is different. Yeah, and her lip color, but I doubt that actually matters. Want a copy? It's okay, I have extra prints. Well, that's gonna come up. It's kind of hard to imagine you as a picture book illustrator, so tell the truth. Must have some kind of an ulterior motive, right? What are you talking about? I don't trust anyone anymore, especially not women. Oh my god, in Women's Month? Can you even draw well enough to make a picture book? Art isn't only about technical skill, it's also about having a pure heart. That's why I'm asking, can you draw well enough to make a whole book? Now that you mention it, I wonder. Looks like you still have some doubt in your heart. When I first saw her, I felt it. Something inside me ended and something else began. Not her, the other girl. Uh-oh. Yeah, her, my little Iris. She's really pretty. This girl, she's perfect. She's exactly my type. You always liked those model types, didn't you, Larry? Wait a sec. Right, of course I have. I have basically, but... Iris is different. I feel like I still have one chance left at the dream. This guy will never change. Girls. Thank God. Dinner preps are complete. Please come quickly to the main hall. Can't wait to dig in, pearls. I'm gonna go to the inner temple and call Sister Iris. I also want to have a look at where Mystic Maya is gonna be training. So who dies? I mean, somebody dies, that's for sure. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you sure it's alright to eat that much before your training? This kind of training is a battle of endurance. Please don't do anything that might put your health at risk. No pain, no gain, I guess. I'm still worried about you. Well, well, well. Let's not dilly-dally, shilly-shally. You must get ready for tonight. I don't remember if we ever said that Maya's name was Maya. Here I go. I'll see you all tomorrow, I guess. Please ring the bell at 10 for lights out, alright? Yes, Sister Bikini. And then after you ring the bell, I want you to come join us at the training hall. I understand, Sister Bikini. Maya and Bikini seem really excited about this training tonight. What are you gonna do tonight, Pearl? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. If you like to practice reading with me, I'd love to. Hills is smitten. So Larry, what are you gonna do? Me? Well, I'm just gonna go hang out in my room. I can't stand the cold at all. Miss Elise, Example, how do you read this? It says gravely. That's kind of a tough word. Or gravelly. What about this word? Another tough road. It says roast. I'm gonna go wash the dishes and help clean up. I'll visit you when I'm done, Miss Elise. Not too much to do except huddle to my room and head to my room and huddle under the covers. Right before the lights out. It's a whole different type of cold up here in the mountains. Why couldn't the nearest bathroom just be a little closer to my room? Mr. Wright? Oh. Miss Dunham, are you going to use the bathroom too? No, but have you seen Pearl? No. Not since after dinner. I thought she said she was going to your room. She never showed up. I'm going to go look for her, excuse me. A woman as mysterious in origin as her last name. But the real mysterious one is Iris. Oh, Sister Iris. Good evening. Are you on your way to the bathroom too, Mr. Wright? Sister Iris, right? Yes. So, when did you come to Hazakura Temple? Don't remember. Ever since I was a small child, the temple has been my home. So you've never left? I don't have any family left to take care of me. Sister Bikini, come to think of her as my real mother, as it were. Didn't you go to college? Maybe enroll in Ivy University Literature Department? No, I've never had any interest in going to a big university like that. My training is all the education I need. I see. Is there a picture of Hawthorne? Did Hawthorne have the same hair color as her? She could have dyed her hair, so that doesn't really matter. Once in a while, when I get the chance, I make a trip to the nearby town. I can use a computer and a cell phone too. It's not exactly something worth bragging about. Hey, it's better than Maya. I don't see any Psylocks, so I guess that means she's not lying. I still have my Magatama with me. Please don't stare at me like that. Sorry. What kind of place is this anyway? I heard it's for training you to increase your spiritual power or something like that. I have to admit, it's a whole different world up here. I'm glad to hear you say that. Huh? Talking with dead people, who does it help anyway? I hate it. Really? Then why stay in a place like this? Ah, something wrong? I didn't realize it was so late. I have to go and ring the bell for lights out. Guess it's almost 10 now, huh? Mr. Wright? Yes? If it's alright with you, I'd like you to have this. Her habit? This is your hood. Has the power to protect you from evil spirits. Pray for your safety on this dark, cold night. Magical hood said to offer protection from evil spirits. This is the murder weapon. Sorry, I must bid you good night. Wait a minute, Sister Iris. Yes? Just now you called me by my name. You said Mr. Wright. How'd you know my name? I've never introduced myself to you. That's... Sister Iris, please tell me the truth. You and I, have we ever met before? There it is. Oh, that's a lot. Yep, that's a lot. It's almost 10. Perhaps we can speak again tomorrow. My hunch was correct. She does know me. I'll have to try to talk with her again tomorrow. Ah! What the? Blood-curdling scream came from the courtyard. What the heck? Hazakura Temple Courtyard. That scream, I'm sure it came from around here. Someone's there, on the ground. Miss Dunham. Just stepped on something soft. Hey, don't step on my tummy like that. What the heck? What are you doing laying in the snow? I was passed out. What do you think? Hurry up and call the police. Is there a phone in the main hall? No, but we have... Just to get reception, you must have a cell phone. Why didn't you bring it? You'll have to use the public phone by Dusky Bridge. Run as fast as you can. It's further than I thought. The bridge is just up ahead. I'll have to tell Maya what happened too. Dusky Bridge, it's burning down. What the heck happened? What are you doing here? What is it? Is it me? Don't scream at me like... Don't scare me like that, Larry. I almost had a heart attack. My name isn't Larry, it's Loris. Larry, hurry up and call the police. I'm gonna head to the inner temple. Don't be stupid, the bridge is nothing but a burning wreck right now. Listen to me, there's been a murder here at Hazakura Temple. Murderer might have even fled across the bridge. I have to make sure Maya is safe. Call the police, I've gotta go. Get out of my way, Larry. It's too dangerous. Nick, wait. Must have been crazy. I knew how dangerous it was, but I still went for it. Weakened even more by the fire, the rickety old bridge's planks snapped and gave way, and as I was swallowed by the eternal darkness that surrounded me, a final terrified scream rose up to pierce the frozen air of the hollowed night. What the heck? Who could that be at this time of night? Yes, Edward speaking. Edgy, get up, it's an emergency. Huh? Larry? Do you know what time it is? It's not Larry, it's Loris. Loris Dunham. This is nothing more than a terrible nightmare. I'll just roll over and... Wait, don't hang up. It's an emergency, it's Nick. Took a really nasty spill. It wouldn't be the first time, so I'm not joking, his life is in danger. What? What happened? Tell me. Talk about a guy with bad luck, he may already be dead. You gotta come back, you're the only one that can help. My Iris, my beautiful Iris, she needs help. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there as soon as I can. I'm at the detention center, please hurry. It's been 1 year since I left that country. I thought I wouldn't have to see him again for a while. Sounds like it won't be a pretty reunion, as if I expected anything to change. Am I playing as Edgeworth now? You're late, Edgy. What took you so long? I am playing as Edgeworth now. Fell from Dusky Bridge and is currently hospitalized. I don't want to hear it. I chartered a private jet to come as quickly as I could. Well, you could have chartered a faster one. Just listen. Something happened to Nick. Say something, Edgy. Before I came here, I was stopped by the hospital and paid Wright a visit. I believe I have a better understanding of the situation than you at this point. The murder victim was the picture book author, Miss Elise Dunham. She was found by Wright and the head nun. The suspect is the temple's younger nun. Later, while Wright was crossing the bridge, it broke and he fell into the river. The hospital says he'll at least need 2 days of bed rest. That's right, you got it. They arrested her, my sweet little Iris. And here I was convinced that he was the one the police had arrested. However, I still don't understand what these 2 items are for. What are you talking about? They're things Wright gave me when I was leaving his room. This is the first. He said some nonsense about being able to see into people's hearts with this. And the other, he couldn't possibly be asking what I think he is, could he? I'm begging you, Iris's trial starts tomorrow. With Nick out of the picture, you're all I've got left. You're the only one who can represent her. What did you just say? You know, represent, defend. What were you expecting? Why do you think I called you anyway? I'm a prosecutor, Larry. A prosecutor. Do you understand what I'm saying? A prosecutor is a lawyer who... Don't talk to me like I'm a kid. I graduated from junior high, you know? Don't worry about it. I promise I won't tell. I mean, I heard a paper bad had no problem fooling an entire court before. How could this country's judicial system have fallen into such decay? Please, IG, at least listen to her. Listen to Iris's side of the story. So Wright wasn't joking when he gave me this badge after all. Thank you for coming. My name is Iris. Edgeworth. Miles Edgeworth. I don't know if I can be of any help, but I will at least hear what you have to say about the murder. Mr. Wright, how is he? Mr. Loris said that he might even die. Fortunately, he'll be fine. Larry, you moron, how could you say something like that? He was badly bruised when he hit the water, but otherwise he is unharmed. Thank goodness, but he's caught some kind of nasty cold. He's running a high fever and drifting in and out of consciousness. This woman, I feel like I've met her before. Pardon me, Iris, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. I have this distinct feeling that you and I have met before. Must be your imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. After all, I'd hardly ever leave Hazakura Temple. What's that? It's a place where those who wish to boost their spiritual power come to train. You need to undergo some very difficult training to release your inner spiritual power. Did you go to that temple for that reason as well? No, I don't have any spiritual powers. I don't need them. In that case, what are you doing at the temple then? I've committed some sins that I need to pay for. That's why I'm there, and I continue to train to purify my soul. I want to ask about the last night, the night of the crime. Helped clean up for dinner, and then went back to my room at about 8. Later, I left my room to ring the lights out bell at 10. Ring it at the same time each night. Then, I was told to go to the training hall, but I went back to my room and stayed there. Why didn't you go to the training hall? I was frightened. I just stayed in my room and meditated until the murder happened. You were asked to go to the training hall on the night of the murder. However, you didn't go, because you said you were frightened. What exactly were you so frightened of? Something wrong? Sorry, it's nothing. These must be what Wright was talking about, the psycho locks. I believe he said that I need to present this Magatama item to do something. Have any ideas what really occurred last night? It was a result of the tremendous spiritual power that was unleashed. Spiritual training has been a cause behind many great tragedies. This incident was just another example. Iris, I'm sorry, but I can't accept that. I'm a man of science. I don't believe in spiritual power. I'm certain that the thing that killed the victim was a human. So please answer me this simple question. Were you the one who killed Elise Dunham? No, I'm not the one who took her life. I suppose that means I can believe that she's not lying. Yeah, but we did that before once. And it was that, yeah, I didn't kill them, I paid someone else to kill them. So, what's wrong? I can't believe what I'm thinking. And here I just finished saying I don't believe in spiritual power. It appears that's about all you can tell me. I visited Wright at the hospital. He asked me to take care of you. At the trial tomorrow, he asked me to defend you. If Mr. Wright has that much faith in you, Mr. Edgeworth, then I'll gladly entrust my fate to your capable hands. Before that, I have one question. Do you know Wright? Why do you ask that? Whenever you came up in our conversation, he would begin to act a little strange. Mr. Edgeworth, what is Mr. Wright to you? He's a very dear and indispensable friend. It was 5 years ago. That's when I deceived him. I heard he was in a lot of pain afterward because of what happened. I know what a weak person I am. That's why I thought it was best if he never saw me again. I wanted him to forget about me without learning the truth. He asked me, Wright is still suffering. 5 years ago. years ago. I don't remember how old he was, or when that first court case was. It was probably 5 years ago. And until he learns the truth, I don't think he'll be able to truly recover. Iris, it's not too late. You should go to him and tell him the truth. I'll defend you, but only if you agree to that one condition. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, I promise. Very well. I'll do everything in my power to get you an acquittal. That's enough information gathering for now. I should head to the crime scene. Dusky Bridge. Sure is cold, alright, so this is it, Dusky Bridge. It's you, Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see. It's been about a year, or has it been longer? I guess, yeah, 5 years would line up to the case with Dahlia and Phoenix at the thing. Because Phoenix was 23 in the first game? Well, hold on. Oh, I don't have Maya on there, because Maya was 16 in the first game. I'm pretty sure Phoenix was 23 in the first game. He's 26 now. So then, yeah, 2 years being the Dahlia case makes sense. So she probably is Dahlia. But she killed the dude. So I don't know what her... I don't know what her plan is. Also, I called it. The old lady died. She's either the victim or the murderer, and she's the victim. I called it. It doesn't matter, detective. What does matter is why you're shuffling around up here. Ooh, ouch. There's that sharp left jab. Happy to see you anyway, Mr. Edgeworth. Let me guess, you were transferred by HR to the local precinct? Wise decision. The fast amount of nothing up here should be quite easy to guard. I heard you were back in the country and arranged to come all the way out here. Everyone was real nice. They even let me take charge of the investigation, sir. Gumshoe, indeed. Like gum on your shoe, he's impossible to get rid of. I'm supposed to report on the details of the crime scene. Anyway, here I am, Detective Dick Gumshoe, reporting for duty. Thanks, Detective. I thought Prosecutor Godot was gonna be here before me. That guy's a real mystery, I tell you. I just got back into the country, so I really don't know much about the case. It's simple. Simple is as simple does, as they say. Got no idea how much I've missed that biting sarcasm. But seriously, this one's a piece of cake. There's a witness that saw the whole thing. That bikini lady. Here, on this freezing cold mountain? You should talk to her yourself if you want the details. I may have to talk to this bikini lady, I mean decisive witness myself. So this is the bridge that Wright fell through? Yep, I can't imagine being that reckless myself. Look before you cross is how it goes, right? Or was it leap? And? Is there something on the other side? Yeah, some old building called the Inner Temple, but we can't get there without a bridge. Maya's still there. Shit. Nobody lives there, so it's usually not a problem, but someone was at the Inner Temple doing some training and now they're stuck there. Yeah. I heard that from Wright. It's Maya Fey. Oh no, her again? The air's really turbulent, so we can't call for an extraction. No one's gonna be able to reach the Inner Temple until tomorrow. How'd this bridge burn down anyway? We're almost 100% sure it was lightning. Lightning? So who is this Prosecutor Godot? I've never heard of him. He's a new guy, showed up after you left the country. He's a complete rookie, but no one can say a bad word about the guy. What kind of man is he? He just became a prosecutor recently, but he's good. Real good. He's so good. How is it I've never heard of him? Didn't they say recently that Edgeworth said this guy's one of the best? I guess this entire game is just out of order chronologically, because I think this probably comes before. Like, this is obviously after the Dahlia case, but this is probably before all the other Phoenix cases. You bet he is. After all, you know who's right in the middle of it. You know who. Phoenix Wright. For some reason, Godot has really got it in for Phoenix. Seems to have some kind of grudge. And what would be the cause? I don't know, maybe he made fun of his mask. Telling me the bridge caught fire due to a fluke bolt of lightning? Last night it snowed for the first time in 3 days. It's a little unusual for lightning to occur during a snowfall like that. According to the weather data, lightning definitely struck. Very detailed weather report. Snow with occasional lightning strikes. Snow 7 until approximately 10:50. Lightning 10 to approximately 11. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Almost too detailed. It even has the exact time that lightning struck the bridge. We got that information from the witness testimony. Someone actually saw the lightning hit the bridge. Who's the witness? I'll ask one of the local cops later. It's a lot of heart, isn't it? There's a lot we don't know about this victim. We don't know her real name, her background, we don't know anything. She was trying to hide her identity. Why would she become an author? I'll bet it was just one of those things, you know? Probably never expected to get so popular. It's supposed to be Miss Elise Dunham's apprentice or something. Drew a nice portrait of me. But he made me pay him 50 cents for it. I don't seem very interested in him. I really don't want to talk to him about him. I feel like I've seen this girl somewhere before. She wasn't from a pirate case, was she? Nope, can't be. We did a database search with her fingerprints and came up with nothing. Came up with nothing. Really? I see. Everyone knows that you're quite popular with the ladies. Maybe she's an old girlfriend you sent to Dumpsville when you were younger. Do I really inspire this sort of frothing desire from female masses? Oh god. That has to be some, like, meta joke. Usually hear about promising young prosecutor candidates while they're still in school. I've never seen or heard this person. Gotta admit, he's puzzling. He just appeared, big mug of steaming coffee in his hand. The whole prosecutor's office really into double espresso macchiatos lately. This is the bridge Wright tried to cross. Now I see how he managed to win his cases in court. Blind luck. I think dumb luck suits Wright a little bit better. It's a little shack down the way called Heavenly Hall. It's like a rundown doghouse for losers that can't bear The freezing drafts of wind. Kind of reminds me of my apartment. Giving a hovel a name is a crime itself. I call it false advertising. The name of my apartment complex is Compton Castles. Not such a great apartment either. Looks like a pretty good distance. It's gotta be around 100 yards. Detective, that's not even close to 100 yards. That's not a football field, Gumshoe. About 20 yards. And impossible to cross without a bridge, it seems. Some letters are wildly engraved into a roughly cut boulder. Dusky Bridge. It certainly is an appropriate name. It says Dusty. I can see how you read it wrong, though. You're the one who needs glasses. Try reading it one more time. It is Dusky, after all. Whoever wrote this made a mistake. Okay. Public phone. You don't see a lot of those anymore. Since we got one, why don't we take a photo as a memento? I don't have a camera. I'm gonna go get a disposable one. Right. Edgy, what took you so long? I'm so cold my brain's turned to sherbet. I knew it was a mistake to race back to this country. What do you mean? Wright is gonna be fine, and the case itself isn't anything unusual, and I find myself taking a request to defend a woman accused of murder. Wait a second, hold it. Objection. What's going on here, Edgeworth? It's hard to explain, but one thing led to another, and what kind of lame excuse is that? And you call yourself a defense attorney. Edgeworth is a prosecutor, and that's why he's Prosecutor Edgeworth. Prosecutor Edgeworth, defense attorney, just sounds plain old weird, pal. His name is Miles. Edgy, I don't see you for a couple of years, and your heart turns to sherbet. I'd say more like sorbet. It is rather cold here. Iris didn't murder her, someone else did it. I just know it, okay? Trust me on this one. Nevertheless, I'll do what I can. At least until I pass the baton on to Wright, that is. I'm telling you, Iris is so cute. Right, Edgy? You think so too, don't you? Wrong, why are you so quiet? To put it simply, your comment has me highly concerned. Could it be that the reason you think she's innocent? Come on, a girl that cute couldn't possibly be a murderer. Okay, I was right. I never should have come back. I see things for how they really are this time, honest. Just that, well, Iris is a delicate flower. You can't force these things, you know? Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about, Larry. Forget it. I didn't say anything. Huh? Larry, where were you and what were you doing on the night of the crime? Larry? What? Don't tell me. You think I might have done it? What? Get lost. Go back to your chartered jet and get out of my sight, you creep. God damn it, Larry. I hope your plane crashes and you die. Oh my god. I'll ask you one more time. On the night of the murder, where were you and what were you doing? He saw the murder happen. I don't remember. Alright, Larry. I suppose this type of thing is necessary. This just gave me a great idea. Got an idea for a brand new invention. Car that can travel on snow. I'll call it a snow car. Would you take a ride in that? Only after you take the first 1,000 test rides. See a small bell tower. Something I've always wondered about. Call a person who tells a lie a liar, right? Why don't we call a person who rings a bell a beller? Or a truer for a guy who tells the truth. Okay. Gate looks quite old, strong enough to resist the weight of time. I've always appreciated this kind of old timeless elegance. It's exactly how I feel too. Take this coat. Like a fine wine, it gets better with age. Even fine wine turns to vinegar and begins to stink at some point. I suggest you wash that atrocious rag you call a coat, detective. That must be Main Hall back there. Brilliant deduction. Thanks. Are you trying to flatter me, Detective Gumshoe? A brilliant use of suspense to build the tension, sir. According to Wright, the head nun had some important info. Can't miss the opportunity to speak with her. Larry, I'll be back. Hello there, how are you feeling? Alright, I suppose. Who is this? My name is Miles Edgeworth. Handsome boy such as yourself is always welcome. If circumstances weren't so tragic, I might just... Please don't call me boy. Sorry to trouble you. I'm looking for a woman in a bikini. Well, you found her. What can I do for you? Sorry, but I don't see any bikinis. Ha ha ha, if you ask nicely, I might give you a peek, big boy. Wah ha ho ho ho. Who could the murderer be? If not Iris, then who? My options are Larry, which it's not Larry. Bikini. And Maya. This is the head nun, Sister Bikini, she's the witness. Why didn't you tell me about that earlier? This is exactly why your salary keeps getting cut. Stomach is already growling in protest. What's the latest about my beloved Iris? I want to hear what you know. I'd like to ask you about last night. We had an acolyte here for training. After dinner, the two of us went into the training hall in the inner temple. Approximately what time was that? I suppose it was around 9 when we left here. Training lasts all night long. It's extremely exhausting. The channeling dojo's head nun must be in attendance at all times to keep watch. Sometime around 11, you witnessed the incident in the courtyard, but your duty was in the inner temple. Why'd you come back here? The way you're staring at me, I'm starting to get goosebumps. I know I may look strong, but the truth is I've got a bad lower back. Especially bad, so bad I can't even lift a bucket. Do you remember how cold it was last night? My bad back felt as stiff as frozen glass. Just wanted to take a nice hot bath to ease my aching back. That's why I returned to Main Hall. So you left the disciple all alone. Don't be ridiculous, I would never do that. That's why I ordered Iris to the inner temple after she had rung the bell for lights out. She never went to the inner temple, did she? So, did this head nun actually see Iris there? I'd like you to tell me exactly what you saw in the courtyard. It must have been past 11. No, I can't say. It's too much for my poor heart. Calm down, lady. Let go of my tie. I saw two people. One of them was lying on the ground. The other was stabbing her from the back with a sword. Did you see this criminal with your own eyes? I didn't want to believe what I was seeing, but it was Iris. I must have been quite shocked. It'd be like if you were stabbing Mr. Wright smack in the middle of the courtroom and I happened to witness it from the witness stand. I know it sounds insane, but that's what I saw. When I finally realized what I was seeing, I screamed and then I passed out. The idea of Iris doing such a foul act seems unnatural. The girl I know simply isn't capable of this sort of foulness. So who is this acolyte who is here to train? Her name is Maya Fey. I treated her very badly, I'm ashamed to say, and after she went through the trouble of signing up for the special course. It's a training session where you sit on a block of spirit ice and chant 30,000 times. You don't mean to tell me she's still doing that over at the inner temple, do you? Of course not. You don't have to worry about that one bit. Last night we still hadn't started the training session itself. Oh, that's good to hear. Oh, dear, there's one thing I forgot to tell you. You know that small girl? I believe she is Mystic Maya's little sister. Pearl, Maya Faye's cousin. Thought she was going to visit Mystic Elise after we finished with dinner cleanup, but I haven't seen her at all since late last night. She's nowhere to be found. Watching my closed captioning catch up. Alright. You mean she was with the victim? It's all the fault of my stupid creaky old back. The little girl who was with the victim on the night of the murder is gone. As they say, the plot thickens. Well, that's a demon warding hood. Acolytes are highly susceptible to possession by evil spirits, you know? That's why we wear these for protection. What are you waiting for? You won't get any protection just by holding it. Put it on. Can't. I was just... Ho. Looks like it was made just for you. What do you mean by that? Looks marvelous. You gotta keep it on for a while. Look at what you found. That's the master of the crane channeling technique, Misty Faye. It's been nearly 20 years since the Mystic Misty's disappearance. Apparently she intended to pass the master title to her daughter. I myself am a part of the branch family of the Faye clan, but even I am not privy to the information concerning the main family. I look pretty S to the XE, don't you think? Yeah, absolutely. Up till recently, we've avoided exposure in such magazines, but this time we had our reasons. Why deny the world the sight of such a lovely face? How could a terrible thing have happened? It's all my fault. What do you know anyway? Oof. That stupid 5 o'clock shadow and stupid old coat. It's too bad that you weren't the one that disappeared. Her anger does seem a little manufactured. This is Mystic Elise's apprentice, is it not? I think he might have a bit of a crush on me, sweet boy at any rate. Don't blame him. Sister Bikini understands the temptations of young men, but I'm afraid it wouldn't be proper to abuse my position. I am head nun, but I did allow him to draw a portrait. Said you went to the training hall last night. Did you happen to see Iris while you were there? Of course I saw her. I told her to meet us after ringing the 10 o'clock bell. So she came to the inner temple? Of course she did. Iris has always been a good, obedient girl. After that, I had Iris help Mystic Maya begin her training. That doesn't fit with Iris' story at all. She said that she never went to the inner temple. She doesn't know anything about Godot. It's all my fault, me and my stupid back. Elise has been murdered and girl has been lost. She's a very important visitor and honored acolyte. How so? Faye name is synonymous with the crane channeling technique, therefore she must be a spirit medium of great power indeed. 1 year ago, there was a case about the master of the crane channeling technique. Midichlorians? Hold on. There was a case that was about the master of the crane channeling technique. Detective, I detest Taka supernatural drivel. I suppose now you'll say that she has midichlorians. Hell yeah. So it gives you the creeps now, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? And then Pearl. Where could she have gone? Checked out her home, she's not there. She's nowhere in the vicinity of the temple, which means there's only a few possibilities where she could be. Think she fell off the bridge and was carried downstream? Why do you have to be such a pessimist, detective? Just trying to think like you. Ironic, I became a pessimist only after I had the pleasure of working with you. It's a warmed cat box, but where are all the cats? It's called a hibachi. It's for heating the room. All these ancient straw frisbees. Is there a type of zabuton cushion called Enza? Learning something might be a good thing for you, detective. More Enza cushions. What's this white piece of paper? Here you are, Mr. Edgeworth. An old manila envelope. This could be it. An ultra important clue. A super special clue. I suppose I should read it. Looks like a letter addressed to Sister Iris. Tonight at 10 at Heavenly Hall, unless you want your secret to be exposed. Sounds like a blackmail letter. Blackmail? Found in main hall. Maybe she dropped it. Nice going there, Mr. Edgeworth. Why can't I ever find clues like that? Suppose it takes a super duper kind of dumb to miss a clue like this. It's an altar with a Magatama enshrined on it. I had a birthday party. Maybe we should blow out those candles to make up for that. The thing sure casts a strong presence over the whole room. This is the Lesser Magatama. It's a precious heirloom containing a great many souls. This is lesser? What does the greater one look like? The greater Magatama is displayed in the main room of Fey Manor. It's supposed to be at the Treasures of Korean exhibit, but it was so large that they couldn't bring it through the doors. Glowing script written everywhere on the walls. Man, I bet you'd have awful nightmares if you tried to sleep in here. It's our main hall, so it's protected by a variety of magic spells and charms. They're all designed to prevent evil forces from entering. But if I slept here, the Oogie Woogie Boogie Man wouldn't hurt me down for eternity. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to use the restroom. This is where the murder took place. Other than removing the body, we left everything else untouched. Looks like police are still investigating. Better ask, just to be sure. Are you really going to defend that nun Iris at the trial tomorrow? Yeah, I will. I gave her my word, and I must follow through with my commitment. That's true. In that case, I gotta be careful. Gotta make sure I don't leak the prosecution's whole investigation. Don't worry about it, detective. Just keep your mouth closed, and I think most of it will flow out on its own. You got it, sir. I'll make sure it flows like water from a tap. You do that, detective. Just how much has your runny spout leaked over the years? Hold on, I'm gonna grab something real quick. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Victim is famous picture book author Miss Elise Denham. Her entire past up till she won that writing award last year is total mystery. To believe in this day and age you can still find people like that. The estimated time of death of the victim was between 10 and 11 on February 7th. Cause of death was blood loss, resulting from a stab to the back by the murder weapon. The victim was found skewered with a giant sword. Just one strange thing, the victim's entire body was covered with bruises. Bruises are considered consistent with falling from a height of a 2-story building. That'd be the same height. This happens to be the room that Elise Dunham was staying in. Pushed out the window after she was stabbed by the sword. Or she fell on the sword. Although if she fell on the sword, then she wouldn't have bruises. Let's see if we can summarize what we learned so far. Let's take a look at the map. According to the testimony of Sister Bikini, the head nun, right after they'd finished dinner, she and Maya Fey headed to the inner temple. W for witness. 10 p.m. after ringing the bell, Iris went to the inner temple. According to Bikini. She got there, Bikini had her take over while she went back to Hazakura Temple. Taking a hot bath to soothe her back. Sister Bikini witnessed the murder in the courtyard. For more details, you should ask Bikini herself in the main hall. Trial is tomorrow. Who's the prosecutor? Pretty sure it's the Godot. No one can get a hold of him, so they're looking for a replacement. It's really weird. All of a sudden, no one can reach him. I wonder if the rumors are true. Maybe since Mr. Wright caught a cold, he won't be defending. Just lost interest. I tend to appear in court in the role of a defense. It'd be quite unhappy if it came out that I'm actually a prosecutor. See why, but I'm not the one you have to worry about. I think the real problem is going to be that judge. He certainly would remember my face even after such a long absence. Why I requested that another judge preside over the trial. Only met each other once, there's a good chance he won't remember me at all. The prosecutor. Everyone in the prosecutor's office must know you. Wouldn't be a problem if somebody made a big stink. No need to worry, I pulled a few strings and arranged for a prosecutor of my own choosing. This is this inner temple that Maya was supposedly training at. According to Bikini, it's an old building they use for training the acolytes. It's on the other side of Dusky Bridge. Anything else on the other side of the bridge? Not a thing. The other side is surrounded by cliffs on all sides. In a way, it's kind of like a little island out there. Here, it's not the kind of place a person could survive in. So the sword is from this gold statue is actually the murder weapon. It's called Shichi Shito, nasty piece of work. There's still some blood on it. I suppose it's the victims all over the blade. Speaking of all over, there are fingerprints all over the hilt. Match the prints from the younger nun, the defendant. Is this how it is for Wright? Is this what it's like to be a defense attorney? I figure it doesn't feel really good. To be honest, it feels like more detrimental to your health. So she tried to pull it out. That's what I'm gathering. Love skiing. About sleds. Sleds, nah. They're a little too kiddie. Messes with my hard-boiled image. Main gate must be over that stone wall. Jumped over a few of those in my time. Most of those are good memories, but not all. Perhaps someone should introduce you to the concept of paucity of words. Paucity. Littleness in numbers. Shut the heck up, gumshoe. Shut up. Cease. What's this? It looks like a wizard staff. Belonging to the victim. It's nothing strange or magical. Top secret stuff, don't tell anyone. I was like, I want to be a wizard. What about any fingerprints? Were there any? Just the victims? The lantern, I suppose they light it. There's something elegant about light from a fire. At the end of each month, I always like to relax my room by candlelight. Detective, can you not afford to pay your electricity? At everything? Is that really everything? My clue was the sword is being held here by statue of Ami Faye. I don't see Larry. Maybe he scared the poor kid away. His heart was shut tight with a number of Psylocks. I guess I'll have to look for him now with the— what a thorn in my side. Mr. Edgeworth, I came back because I needed to ask you a few more questions if you don't mind. I've already told you everything. Iris, please remember, I'm on your side. You can tell me everything. Anything. I just finished speaking with the head nun of the Hazakura temple. She testified very clearly as to what happened. She said she saw you stab Miss Elise Denham with a sword. And one other thing. She said that when She said that when Maya Fey began her training, you were there as well. What? When I spoke with you last, you claimed you never went to the inner temple, and yet Sister Bikini says she met with you at the inner temple that very night. But I didn't go there. I didn't go to the inner temple last night. Seems like she's unwilling to tell me the whole truth. I wonder if I'll find the answers if I break those Psylocks. Take that. I was frightened. Since I have been handling this case, it's my duty to dig out the answers, understand? Yes, sir. The smallest flame can sometimes bathe the case in a whole new light. In my years in court, I've seen it happen over and over again. That's why I've committed to searching until I have those answers. Now then, is it really true that you didn't go to the inner temple last night? Yes, I swear. I already told you that. You said you didn't go because you were frightened. The obvious question is, what were you so frightened of? Iris, I wonder, is this frightened you so much that you couldn't leave your room? I found this in the main hall. It's addressed to you. Oh, Iris, why are you glaring at me like that? You were scared of the blackmailer who wrote this to you, isn't that correct? Was it the evidence or the power of my glare that broke that lock? Oh well, I suppose it matters. I don't suppose it matters either way. Sir Edgeworth, I thought that letter was just someone playing a prank on me. Yes, after all, even if I did have a secret, there's no one to tell it that would cause me any grief. I wonder about that. Sister Bikini is like a mother to me. I would never hide anything from her. I may not have anything to hide under normal circumstances. However, last night was different. Fortunately, I don't know the exact nature of your secret yet. However, what it is, there's one person you didn't want your secret told to. Phoenix Wright. Means something to Wright, it seems, and I can tell you have a special place in his heart. Or he has a special place in your heart. That's why you didn't want him, of all people, to know your deep, dark secret. Oh, what do you have to say? I should have expected as much, especially from a friend of his. After dinner, this letter was waiting for me in my room. As I said, I was frightened by it. What is this heavenly hall? It's a small mountain shack at the base of Dusky Bridge. More like a broken down shack that no one would ever want to go near. Where is it on this map? Around here. To get there, you must follow a small path from Dusky Bridge. Reality is, to get to the inner temple, I had no choice but to cross that bridge. But the thought that there could be a terrible criminal could be lurking at Heavenly Hall. I was so scared by the whole affair that I didn't even want to think about it. This is the secret that you locked away in your heart. Maybe you'll find some sign of our mysterious blackmailer. In any case, you still claim to have never left your room last night. Trial starts tomorrow. I promise you I'll win. I'm gonna win so that you and Phoenix can see each other again. But when I do, you must promise me that you will tell him your secret. But it's pointless. Why would you say that? Because I may know who Phoenix Wright is, but he has no idea who I am. Who's the woman? I don't know the details, but I've heard that she's a master of crane channeling technique. Mystic Misty. Great spirit medium, that's what I've heard. I've also heard that she went missing 15 years ago. That's a demon warding hood. I gave it to Mr. Wright last night. He was wearing this when I saw him in the hospital today. It's an important item for protecting acolytes from evil spirits. It's so important, why'd you give it to him? Last night I felt something. I felt that something terrible was going to happen. I didn't want Mr. Wright to fall into its grip. I was against the idea of our temple appearing in that magazine. I was afraid this type of tragedy might occur. Would you allow them to run an article? It was Sister Bikini. She's rather fond of attention, surprisingly so. Certainly does look rather happy in this photo. It's Mystic Elise Denham. She's a picture book author. Does she come to Hazakura Temple often? No, this was her first time. It's just that she was a very important visitor. Sister Bikini told me, do not be certain not to offend her. The murder weapon? Yes, it is. Have you seen it before? Stick Ami was holding it in the courtyard. Know anything about this crumpled up letter? Is that addressed to Iris? Clearly says to Iris. I can't believe it. The girl doesn't have any secrets for me. Much of a view down here, but it's still better than the view from my apartment. Someone's here. Hide yourself. Why does this always happen? Whenever I find a girl, they always run away. I even chased one of them to Japan. Next, it's going to be prison, I guess. I'll steal that detective's wallet. That'll get me locked up for sure. Nah, I can't do that to someone who looks like he's down on his luck. Just talking to himself. Shush, be quiet and listen. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I blew it again. About what you just said, I got an objection. What the? Edgy, you dirty rat. I'm sure you oaf. Sorry, sir. Before I knew it, I was shouting out objection. In a loud, commanding voice, I even pointed with my pointer finger. Objection. Objection. Bang. You watch too many trials. You watch too much, Law and Order. Okay, Larry, the jig is up. What have you got to say for yourself? What is this little shack? I discovered it myself yesterday. Why were you here in the first place? I'm an artist. I was looking for a good place to sketch. This is a great place. It's, artistic. It's quiet, it's cold, it's got no power, and it looks like it's about to collapse. Objection. Sounds a lot like my apartment. No one's likely to show up and disturb you here. So can I get you something to drink? Some hot water, maybe? It's getting all buddy-buddy on us, sir. Listen, you gotta do this. You gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Made up my mind. I'm gonna marry that girl. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask you for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet, but I can tell how she feels by the look of her in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. What is that supposed to mean? I'd never imagine that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want to do anything to her. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If I really want to know the answer to that, we're gonna have to drag him onto the witness stand. Where were you and what were you doing? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. If you want to know, I saw something incredible. Let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. A little far, but I have a pretty clear view of Dusky Bridge. Something about that statement smells, and you know what they say. What is this festive-looking ornament? Reminds me of art class in grade school. We used to have a lot of fun decorating the classroom with origami, remember? Well, yeah, you were never any good at it. The guy was so bad he couldn't even fold a dollar, let alone a crane. Everyone tried to comfort him, but he would just sit there sobbing. Be quiet, I'll never forget the shame of that day. You want a crane? I can now make a perfect quarter-inch crane without a single flaw. No, Edgy, nothing for nothing. But a quarter-inch crane without a single flaw is not easy. This is why I hate childhood friends. Oh my god. These go all the way to Dusky Bridge. It's a pretty long walk. Pretty long but easy walk. I fell 4 times on my way down here, sir. Sorry about that, detective. I ate 4 bananas and tossed their peels on the stairs on my way down here. What? So that's what I was slipping on. Be careful, those banana peels are still out there. Real important information right there, Edgeworth. Horrible graffiti you've got there. You don't know anything of detective. This is art. It's an expression for my bittersweet love for Iris. You know what the difference between graffiti and true art is? That's how the artist defines it, right? Got a point. If that's the case, then all my lunchboxes are masterpieces too, pal. All of your lunchboxes? What the heck does that mean? Why is this pot here? straw roof is totally covered with freshly fallen powdery snow. Heavenly Hall, I suppose it's an appropriate name in some sense. Got that right. Put that bridge up there. That place has to be heaven, because that thing is hell. It would do well to remember, Larry, that this is a sacred place to some people. This is Eagle River. It runs pretty fast, so it doesn't ice over, even in the winter. Even if it had iced over, Wright would have been in some serious trouble. Landed on ice and slid downstream to who knows where. No, he'd probably be dead. Please, why? What is it, Larry? There's something missing from the staff. Still can't believe she was a great person. Someone's pinning this murder on my sweet Iris. Feeling like she's hiding something. Could be, after all, she's shy and gets embarrassed pretty easily. I love shy girls. It's just so cute. Reminds me too much of my mother. Don't care how you feel, just tell me what you know about her and how she's related. Do you think you're expecting too much? I'm just a 25-year-old jobless bum trying to be an apprentice artist. It's Maya. Nick was trying to save her, but instead he wound up falling off the bridge. Hope Maya doesn't catch a cold or something worse. She's way cuter than the girl I used to go out with, like in a case. What? She hasn't been seen since the whole morning. What's wrong with you? Excuse me? If anything happens, I'll never forgive you. Guess he's right for a change. Alright. You're gonna tell me what you really saw last night. You're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. It was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I'd been sleeping not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing, the world in front of me went white. Like I'd been slapped in my face by my old girlfriend Naomi. And then it was on fire. The bridge was on fire. Dusky Bridge caught on fire, and you're saying you saw it with your own eyes? Why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where, you say? What do you mean? What do you mean, what do you mean? Just answer the question. It's in my own room by the main hall. Where else would I be? Can't see it. The main hall is surrounded by trees and it's possible to see the bridge from here. You feel like talking now? About what? You weren't in your room, so where were you? Test my theory. The place you witnessed the lightning bolt was... Heavenly Hall. Freezing cold, no electricity, could fall apart. Larry, how do you know that? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. A theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. That's nice. What were you doing at this cold shack? I call affaire de cour. I think you mean affaire de cour. You're waiting for someone. You're waiting for this person to meet you. Iris. He wrote the letter. There's only one person you'd wait in a horrible place like this. The person you were waiting for was Iris. So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris? Do you think you have some sort of evidence? You have something that proves I was waiting, or are you just guessing? Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. What are you doing with that anyway? It's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that, you should be ashamed. First of all, what's this? At the top it says, salutation here. Well, that's what it said in that book, Letter Writing for Dummies. I'm not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris. If something stinks, it's usually the butts. So you were here last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry doesn't cut it. Threatening a young lady like that? Wait, hold up. What? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? Tried to scare her by threatening to expose her secret. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten? Unless you want your secret to be exposed. That sounds like a threat to me. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? What did you just say? My love for her burned so hotly it could melt all the snow on this mountain. What is the secret? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Obviously she wouldn't want Old Lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bitter-sweet love affair. Alright, then why'd you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Give me a break, it's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Then why are you so quick to apologize, pal? Cause Edgy gave me the scary look of his. Wrong, Edgy, why are you so quiet? That's it? That's what those huge locks are about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Edward, this guy is still hiding something, I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. If you really want to know, last night I saw something incredible. Larry, looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone. What was that something incredible you saw last night? You're gonna tell me one way or another. He told you. I saw lightning hit Dusky Bridge. And I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that something doesn't quite ring true. If that's all there was to your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Edgeworth, I will arrest you on the spot. If I really want to drag the truth, I'll just have to do it on the stand. This freaking guy. This freaking guy. Larry. Edgeworth is your friend. Just tell him. Oh my, Mr. Loris feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry, I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I'll drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No, I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She seems to have seen the very instance in which you carried out the crime. Just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunham, right? Correct? It is correct. It wasn't me. Mr. Edgeworth? You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I made necessary arrangements. Prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. Defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and that belief, and to believe until the bitter end. My friend told me once. Simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecution has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. Ready to announce my verdict. This court finds the defendant. Of course. Of course, it's Von Karma. Prosecution stands ready. And you are Franziska Von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say, perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred Von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a Von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. If you did, then you must be quite a big shot, eh? Oh wait, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm almost certain that I've seen you before, or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you're imagining things, Your Honor. Play a game I wanted to play, then maybe Final Fantasy 13. I don't know when I'll play Final Fantasy 13, but it's not going to be for a while. Too many games to play, and also I'd rather play the first Final Fantasy games before the 13. There's no such weakling as this man among those. There's no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. Damn. A whip. I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. There's still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I'd expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. You brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add things I'm not sure about. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely to my court. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case, with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author Miss Elise Dunham. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a gold statue. Sword is this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well, the court accepts this photo of the crime scene. This is the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there's a witness to her crime. Please bring this witness to the stand. First and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain plagued witness. Fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Once again, your name and occupation, please. I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it, Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. Why did he have booba eyes? Why'd he do the awooga eyes? But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let's hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? This judge wants to know how the bikini moves. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte, and I returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, so I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple? Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. Sounds like a pretty important statement you just made. There's only one problem with the testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? What is this inner temple? Conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's one small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. How exactly do you help with this process? It's all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. If that's the case, then why'd you return to Hazakura Temple? My back likes to act up. It's no laughing matter, especially in the winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? Raging like a bull in a pig pen, I almost fainted once or twice. I knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. You left Iris to help with what? What do you think? The acolyte's training. It was just past 10, so we were starting to enter the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? The job is simply to watch over the acolyte so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again that night, you met with Iris at the inner temple, correct? She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath in the inner temple. I need a long hot soak. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? Bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? It was just a soak. You didn't wash anything. Headache Miles. Lowest of the low. couldn't afford to be away from my post, so just after I finish, it was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. Crime took place in the courtyard. When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. Pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Pretty sure it's... It takes 20 minutes to get from the bridge to the building. And it was already after... She rang the bell at 10. She goes to the bridge. So it's already 10:20. And then she comes back to the building. It has to be after 10:40. And then she took a 20-minute soak and managed to see the death at 11 p.m. Okay, maybe not. There's no bath, so I needed a long hot soak. Left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. Oh, it's just this. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on the power of observation and memory, after all. Don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of the Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant's. She claims after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. He said that? Defendant or witness, who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. That is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. That is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. All people lie, that is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped? Okay, Edgeworth will get whipped. Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have a reason to lie, which means we must call your memory into question. Dear, you're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? It isn't exactly what my memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, You will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence. Please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Why'd it say about? Let's return to cross-examination. Iris came to Inner Temple as she was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Too easy, man. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course, that is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Everyone wears it, except for Iris, who wasn't wearing it, who conveniently gave her hood to Phoenix. So that way she could conveniently say that she was wearing the same thing. Why do you have that? It's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. You know where it is I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court. Witness your response. Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. Stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. And this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. Sorry to break this to you, Von Karma, but you won't get away that easy. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. Seeds of doubt. While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. She'll continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. The heck does that mean? Finished my bath around 11, and I thought I should return to the inner temple. As I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look, and Iris was... Oh, Mystic Elise. And with that sword, of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room which faces out into the courtyard. Stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of the window. Saw a truly terrible sight. Okay. It was a very obvious. This case is mine, Miles. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours? This is an easy one. Stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. If only we had an autopsy report. Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyway. My brain is something else, especially in winter. I think you are overlooking one thing. Von Karma, would you be so kind to take another look at the autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Seeing the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Victim was killed and then fell. If that's the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? Victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room, and then she was thrown out the window into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle at Mr. Dunham's room? He was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a bloodstain, wouldn't you agree? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that'd be when the blade is removed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. Come to conclusion, the victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. No, it doesn't. This is a probable version of events. Rain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Give you a vigorous massage once we're done here. Oh boy. Alright, alright. It's her, isn't it? When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I awoke, Mystic Ami was... stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Putting together such facts is nothing. You should know that, Miles. I looked across the scene. The sword was already in place. Is the victim bleeding? Very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think I saw any blood, not then. The weapon was still acting as a plug in the wound. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. When I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it quite well, Mr. Edgeworth. Never seen so much blood before. Some of it had splattered onto Iris, too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Say you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed, but now you say you saw the victim bleeding. I say that what I saw is what I saw. Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her plain as day. It wasn't exactly pulling it. It was more like it came out. I saw the instant in which the blade plunged to the hilt was smoothly drawn out. You're saying you saw this blade smoothly slide out. That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Ami. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. If the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't have possibly have happened appears to have happened. Bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword. I think that's a bit odd. Why would the killer pull out the sword? All she wanted was to place the weapon in the hand of the whole gold statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts? That's when I fainted. You can't blame me. Oh, none of it. I was unconscious. How long were you out? 10, maybe 20 minutes. A young man with prickly looking head woke me up by stepping on me. I wasn't asking from mouth to mouth. I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you. Stakami was stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. It's easy to despise something, anyone can do it. However, there's something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. What's the problem? Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. Damn. Got him. It's true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself... Okay. There isn't always. That's a phrase that might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Shichishito from the Ami statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I can begin to find the truth. The sword was already in place. Didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I just saw an instant in which the blade plunged to the hilt, smoothly drawn out. Plunge to the hilt, you say? Mr. Bikini, you're a reliable witness. At least I think so, but there are too many contradictions here. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt in the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. Explain yourself. To start with, do you really think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush... Okay, whatever. Objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If the sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, just look at the branches, it wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem with the amount of bleeding. It's true that when the blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug. However, when the blade is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. Yeah, no, it's a branched blade. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. The blood doesn't go all the way to the hilt. This one's simple. If this sword was really thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. She has 6 boxes that she's standing on. Bravo, Miles, raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that. But what does this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer, and that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichishito. Foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy, foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think the sword was a murder weapon? Well, because Mystic Ami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That's what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shido was the murder weapon. Order. So maybe the Shido was not the murder weapon. Even if that's the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. Sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. It's true. Your response, Edgeworth? That is so. I'd like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. Namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something actually. Just thinking it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What are you going on about there? The murder weapon. Maybe I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister. I saw the murder around 11 p.m. and after asking that it be reported, I went to the main gate, and there I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Excuse me. It takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. He's doing a lot of work to throw Iris under the bus. Tell us everything you know right away next time. I'm the best of shape with my back and my age, you know. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. But the tracks cover the footprints. Solves your pesky little problem. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making a perfect place to dispose of a weapon. Yeah, I already see the issue with that. I'm gonna save though, because I bet it's wrong. Saw the murder at around 11 p.m. After asking, I went to main gate. There I saw tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. I admit this photograph proves something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. However, what the witness says is true. Why is there only one set of tracks? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, then returned. If that was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those heading out from the bridge and those coming back. You're right. Getting one thing, Edgeworth. The night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by snowfall. Removes your precious contradiction, doesn't it? While she was at the river, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. Snow from 7 to approximately 10:50. This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. I don't think there's a flaw there. Tracks leading to the bridge were covered by the snow. I do not have any evidence that can dispute this claim. In which case, the rest is simple. Sister, who was the only person who could have driven the snowmobile? That would be, you can't hide it, I already know the answer. It would only be Iris. And the reason being, there's only one key that the defendant is responsible for. I don't feel like a clueless puck bunny. I understand everything. The defendant did indeed use a snowmobile. Hold on, I'm not done yet. There is one gaping hole in this Von Karma's claim. Oh. I do have a contradiction. I didn't think there was a contradiction in that. There's a contradiction somewhere else. Tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that's impossible. Evidence to do all the talking for me. I had the murder. The killer went to and returned from the Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims. Present your evidence. Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Please tell us what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. That means that the weapon was thrown away after that time. On that note, please look at this. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain. Yeah, I guess that's true. She said 11. Snow started at 7 but stopped around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11, the snow had already stopped. Impossible for any tracks to have been made after... Any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Looks like Miss Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Ha ha ha. There's also another issue. How pathetic of you to rely on weather of all things. Answer me this. When is a weather report ever correct? This isn't a forecast, this is actual data. Forecast data, all weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may have still been snowing in the vicinity well past 11. It had stopped snowing at Hazakura Temple when the murder took place, and you provide conclusive evidence of this. Where is your evidence that it had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? Ultimately, it all comes down to one point, that being whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. But there's no snow on the body. According to the photo of the crime scene, as you can see, everything is covered in snow with one exception. That is the victim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It had stopped snowing. That's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be 2 sets of tracks. Just what are you suggesting, Miles? To be honest, I'm not sure myself, but simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, snow had stopped, thus the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. There is only one key for the snowmobile. On that night in question, we know the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder. It can only mean that night Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. Iris said she never went there. I should probably press on this point more when I get the chance. Snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. When I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, snowmobile wasn't there. When I made it to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate, the snowmobile. Covered in snow, too. That is impossible. So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to Inner Temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in the photo. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Was it Pearl? Did Pearl take it? I don't know. There only was someone, a witness who could testify having seen the motorcycle, or snowmobile. Was there no one walking perhaps near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that, unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Your Honor, actually there is one individual who might be of some help. You know someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. There are only 2 things about him that do come to mind, which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. Second being, he's an idiot. He went wandering outside on the cold night. In other words, he's our kind of idiot. Who's this idiot you're talking about? This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de Leduc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim Elise Dunham. Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? Could tell him about his designs for Iris, but that might cost us credibility as a witness before I call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snow scenery that was moving him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract it from him right here in this courtroom. Continued. Alright. I'm gonna break. Stop here. Save. And return. When we get back to interrogate Larry. Goddamn Larry. Thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Probably GTA RP. I heard there was a big update to Onyx. So maybe we'll check that out. But I am exhausted, so I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you everyone. Good night. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of someone else if you can. Goodbye.